All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get airborne with our get that out of my face with our 2025 kind of market outlook. Now, I did something like this a month ago at the end of the year in December, kind of a strategic outlook for 2025. It's completely changed, and I'm like, you know what? I need to update things because it ain't good. It's well. Depends on your point of view. If you know what you're doing, if you're trading options, if you're a TOPGUN Options member, we've made, I've in close to 3 months of trading S&P 500 double verticals, $100,000 ish, plus or minus a little bit, on limited risk. And I'm going to show you all those type of trades this week over the next 3 days. Let me just show you the flight schedule real quick. But I love this, man. This is a target-rich environment. These wild swings up, wild swings down. If you don't know what you're doing, it can be extremely frustrating. But I love this. I can't stand markets that go straight up or straight down. I mean, we make money in those markets too. This is fantastic. Love it. But I'm going to update you on my strategic picture. So I'm going to do that first. Hopefully you joined me in December where we talked about everything that's going to occur this year, in my opinion, but we're going to update it. And then I'm going to get into our solo Amazon brief. So you're joining me as a regular member, except for the little bit of the beginning, where we're going to talk about the only stock you need to own, Amazon. We have earnings coming up in about 3 weeks on Amazon, but the overall market is not looking good. And I saw an article this morning, drinking my coffee before I went to yoga. Did everybody wake up this morning? Hopefully you woke up this morning full of gratitude. Man, you woke up, hopefully you had a roof over your head. You at least have a computer this morning. You're blessed, right? Had my coffee, did my research, and then went to yoga. 60-minute hot fusion flow, and now we are ready to trade. Then I'll tell you what I did before I went to my hot fusion flow, which I'm really excited about. So we'll talk about solo Amazon tomorrow. We're gonna do what's called a primary live trade brief. Again, you're in here with on average 200 members ish. So for all the free folks or the new folks, if you're new to TOPGUN Options, welcome aboard. If you're new to options, welcome aboard. But tomorrow we'll do a primary live trade brief. We're going to talk about these tactics called double verticals or burner trades. It depends. If you had done a burner trade last week, the bearish one, dude, you're welcome. Retire this year. Because I think based on the pricing I looked at market open, I haven't looked at it in the past 15 minutes or so, you're up about 250 to 300% in that trade in a week. So no one's gone broke taking a profit. So, markets don't keep going down forever. So you get out of that double vertical when you want to. I got out last week at 125% profit, 2 days. Obviously, the market was closed for Jimmy Carter's funeral. So technically it would have been 3 days, but who cares? It was 2 days of trading. And then Wednesday, we're going to do AR. It's called accelerated retirement. Longer term bullish trades. And we're also going to talk about MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. If you want to get bullish on a sector, I'm gonna tell you the sector you need to be bullish on, and that's a perfect segue for. I sent this email last night out to my members. Hold on, right here. Maverick Mind is back. So if you remember, you got this email. I already got like 15 emails this morning. So I have a huge crate sitting here in my office of our Maverick Mind product. So this is our microdosing product. In the email, if you were wondering when Maverick Mind was coming back, technically it never went away. I got it back. So just shoot me an email, whiz@topgunoptions.com. If you've ever heard of microdosing, it's on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, and yoga moms are doing. Everybody's microdosing. We're doing it in Aspen. Who cares? It's a thing, and it's not a fad. It's the next fad that will never go away. RFK Jr. looks like he has enough votes to be HHS secretary. He was on Joe Rogan, talking about psychedelics for veterans. the vice president-elect, J.D. Vance, was on Joe Rogan talking about psychedelic for veterans. Pete Hegseth, I can't wait to see the confirmation hearings. Him and Pocahontas going at it. Pete Hegseth was on the Sean Ryan podcast talking about psychedelic for veterans. So I came out with this product a year and a half ago. I said, you know what? My buddy Jared Taylor, JT, one of the founders of Black Rifle Coffee, he and his buddies were on active duty one day. Said, we drink a shitload of coffee. Why don't we make our own? Black Rifle Coffee was started, $500 million company. I said, you know what? There's no veteran supplements company, microdosing company, and that's where we are heading. So we launched the Maverick Mind morning brief. That's what I did in between my coffee and yoga. I took my Maverick Mind. I take one a day, 5 days on, 2 days off. And it's fantastic. Now, for all the feds listening, this is 100% legal, right? There's no psilocybin in these yet. I really don't think you need it. Don't forget, folks, the psilocybin, Nixon said, hey, all you young kids, go on the other side of the planet to kill the yellow man. And they're like, fuck that, man. We're not doing that. Why? Because we love the yellow man. We love you too. How do you love other people? Well, we took these mushrooms and they make us love everybody. Okay, well, those are a felony now. Here's your weapon, or go to jail and go kill people. So when Uncle Sam swooped in and made some mushrooms illegal, they didn't go through the whole list. So Maverick Mind has products in there that have the same impact as psilocybin, but they're 100% legal. So there you go. If someday, God forbid, the government allows us to take something out of the earth that God put here for us to heal and allow us to ingest it on a small amount, we'll come out with our own psilocybin product. In Oregon and Colorado, you can. And I'm in talks to do some stuff. But right now, 100% legal. You don't need psilocybin. It's a great microdosing product. And then the night trap, folks, I take one of these and out 9 o'clock last night after the Eagles stomped. An hour before bed, I've had the best sleep I've had in years since doing the medicine. We had to reformulate this. Why? Because there are some jackwads out there who were adding a shitload of Amanita muscaria mushroom to their products, trying to get a feeling that you're not supposed to get with that. So 2 months ago, the FDA said, Amanita muscaria is now on our no-go list. That was in our freaking night traps. It wasn't a massive one, but we had to reformulate all of it and take that out. So we just plushed up some cordyceps and stuff like that. Okay, I'll get that out of the way, but a lot of people already wrote me. I'm going to run out based on the email. So if you want, I'm supposed to get a crate a month or something like that for the next 2, 3, 4 months from the folks in the Microdoses folks in Colorado. So just shoot me an email, Wiz. I'm going to the post office after this brief to mail a bunch of them. People up in Canada, which is awesome. I don't know how I'm getting shit to Australia, but I'll figure it out. All right, here we go. That's enough of our admin items. Oh, before I forget, here's the replay page. Man, I can't stay, Wiz, or whatever. I want to send it to somebody. Here's the replay. Everything that I post will be up on this replay page. I don't know, about a half an hour to about 20 to 30 minutes after the brief is over with. So make sure you save this link. You can watch the replays from today, tomorrow, and Wednesday on that page. All right, here we go. Buckle up, Buttercup. Quick GoToWebinar stuff over on the right's all your control panel. There should be a little camera icon at the top of what you're looking at. If you like something on the screen, you see a trade I'm doing, go ahead and click that. If you're a member, you have access to our app. So whenever I'm in a brief, I'm going to stop when I see a trade, I place it in our app and I fire it out to folks who can't be here. That's one of the benefits of being a TOPGUN Options member is the app. Instant alerts. Everything's on our app. You can watch the replays, you can watch everything. So, all right, here we go. Wow, what a difference a month makes. Real quick, let me get this out of the way. What's going on in California is an absolute disgrace. It's heartbreaking. I live in Florida, man. We're used to a hurricane zipping through and just destroying people's lives. It's horrible. Absolutely Nothing to do with climate change. Climate change is not an illegal immigrant with a blowtorch they arrested. Climate change did not drain a reservoir that should have been full, not making fire hydrants work. I'm not going to ripple through all the bullshit, but they are the highest taxed people in the country. LA County, the highest taxed county in the country. When you do that, when you pay all of that money, you expect basic services in response. Gavin Newsom, he's a complete scumbag, should be fired. The DEI hire mayor should be fired. The fire chief who couldn't pick me up and carry me 5 feet should be fired. The water lady, did you see the water lady's podcast a couple months ago? DEI is my only priority, not fucking having a full reservoir. That wasn't her priority. The previous guy made whatever it was for, do you know how much the president of the United States makes a year? $400,000. Do you know how much the LA water lady, the DEI lady, that's my number one priority, is equity? $750,000. She got a $350,000 base increase from the dude in front of her. Why? So while I have sympathy for people losing their homes and everything, my God, it's a horror. Barack Hussein Obama once famously said, elections have consequences. That's it. Maybe an event like this will be a sea change for some people. You cannot, this is, I've never seen anything like it. I would love to just, well, whatever. I don't want to go too much on down a rabbit hole rant. I could write an entire new book on leadership and the failures in the state of California. You see the press conferences? What the actual fuck is going on in these press conferences? You ever see a hurricane press conference in Florida? It's Ron DeSantis. He's a Navy officer. He knows the deal. There's a SPA, a single point of accountability in the state. It's me. Do I delegate to this 2-star National Guard commander? Yes. If I can't answer something, I will turn to him right now. Here's the weather. I am in charge of this response. Gavin Newsom, well, I'm demanding answers from, the mayor and Donald Trump's Hitler. And oh my God, it's a horror. Their press conference is a joke. 15 people. Well, I'm the LA sheriff, I'm the LA city cop, and I'm the county fire. Everybody shut up, especially the mayor. Who is in charge? One person. It's a classic example of how not to lead anything. It's been a one-party state for decades. They ain't got nobody to blame, but they're starting to. It's Elon Musk's fault and Donald Trump. Fix your shit, California. Anyway, oh, trust me, the DEI assistant fire chief who on tape is like, well, if your husband got himself into a fire, he got himself into that bad place. That lady couldn't carry me down a flight of stairs. It's like the granny New Orleans police chief. If I look at a police chief and know that I can beat them to death within a couple seconds with their own weapon, they should not be the police chief. Period. DEI is killing Americans. I've had it. Thank God I live in the free state of Florida. What was it? Sanibel Island? Destroyed. The causeway to the island destroyed. He had the fucking Coast Guard out there. And in the state of Florida or Texas, what do they tell you after national disaster? What do the governors say to the camera? If you loot, we shoot. Gavin, looters will be prosecuted. But previously, Gavin, if you looted something from somebody up to $950, it wasn't prosecuted. To quote Barack Hussein Obama's reverend, the chickens have come home to roost. I have empathy, I have sympathy, I have compassion for these people, but at the end of the day, it's insanity. I'm not no super God smiting people. God loves everybody, but the universe does shit, folks. The universe does shit. Anyway, here we go. 2025 brief, updated. This is, I'm going to brief what I did a month ago and tell you where the changes are. I said, buy it with both hands. What? Everything. This market. Amazon, the S&P 500. Donald Trump won. Mergers and acquisition activities are back. It's back, baby. Donald Trump is back. He, last time he was president, said for every new regulation any agency wants to do, you have to take 5 off the books or whatever it was. Wow, businesses breathed a sigh of relief. We're going to get rid of this overburdensome regulation. What's his nuts? Newsom's like, well, no, we can't do this one lake because of the smoot, this little fish that, now Los Angeles is wiped out because of a little fish. Well done, Gavin. And did you see one more rant? I signed an executive order today, cutting red tape to allow people to rebuild. Dude, that's not the flex you think it is. You are publicly admitting that California is an absolute nightmare shit show with 750 grand DEI hires and the yellow-bellied sapsucker and the Coastal Commission. So you just admitted by signing an executive order, your state sucks. You can't do anything here. It takes years of permits and approvals and awfulness. It's not the flex you think it is. I'm signing an executive order. How about you don't sign an executive order? And did you see the state government? They called an emergency session to fight the fires with, right? And to unfuck their state. Now, they called a special session to Trump-proof the state. They're meeting in Sacramento, not because of the worst disaster in the state's history. They're meeting in Sacramento because of Trump. I can't. All right, enough. Here we go. I was wrong. And people sometimes are like, hey, what does both hands mean? In the pit, where's my pad? In the pits, you had your order tickets, right? And you had a pen, right? And and it's like on a flight deck, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, right? So you'd use one hand. When you say buy something, you bring your hand towards you. If you sell something, you're pushing it away, right? If you do this with both hands, like I really need to sell this. And if you're buying with both hands, you're like, dude, give it to me. You're buying with both hands. When you say that, I'm going to buy with both hands, it means I'm very, very bullish. Okay. So absolutely, I would not. That has absolutely changed. Okay, so I said last month I was big C, little b. Let's go look at the chart, baby. What does big C, little b mean? And let me go with let's open this up to a 2-year chart on the S&P 500. And yeah, folks, if you don't know who I am, it doesn't matter at this point. I used to give like 20-minute intros about who I am. We have a lot to talk about. So if you're new, hi, I'm Wiz. Welcome aboard. Look at this 2-year rip your face off rally. 2-year rip your face off rally. So big C, little b met cautiously. I could not be more cautiously, what's the B? Bullish. Why? Because Donald Trump won. He likes using tariffs. And remember, folks, the guy is 90% bluster. I'm old enough to remember the first term, 45. I remember 3 Chinese dudes, Vice Premier what's his nuts, standing in the whatever it was room, Roosevelt room, for a signing ceremony. Trump had beat the Chinese into submission on a trade deal. Do you remember this? It wasn't a signing ceremony. It turned into an hour of the 3 dudes standing on stage, like wondering when they're going to sign the thing on the desk, and Trump going around the room, taking a victory lap. Ken Griffin from Citadel. Ken, stand up. Ken loves me. Good guy. Oh, look, the Boeing guy's here. Boeing CEO. Love Boeing. Great company. It was an hour. What am I getting at? Donald Trump uses shit like that to beat people into submission. Love him or hate him, folks. He cares about the economy. And you ready for this? More importantly, the stock market. People are like, oh, he's going to do all sorts of crazy shit to crash the market. Are you high? Thankfully, the man's a narcissist. If somebody runs in, he doesn't listen to anybody. He will listen to the lady or the dude that runs in the Oval Office. They don't have to. He's got his own cell phone. Holy shit, sir, stocks are tanking on what we're doing. He will stop doing it. I'll bet you $1 trillion. Does anybody disagree with me? Right? So I was cautiously, because we've had a 2-year run in equities, a monster run. I was cautiously bullish. Now, I don't even know what the quantifier is. Bearish. Could not be more bearish. I'm not even a little neutral at this point, folks. What has happened in the past month has been insane. Okay? Werner, steep S&P growth under Joe Biden, isn't it? It isn't under Joe Biden, Werner. Who did this rally? And I'm glad Werner asked or said that, right, folks? Right here in December of 2023, I'm old enough to remember Jerome Powell saying, first of all, at the beginning of December, Jerome Powell said what? Man, Americans are really still burning to death. I got to stop saying burning to death. It's a bad analogy with LA. Inflation is continuing to harm Americans. We have to do our job. We might even keep cranking rates up. I don't know what happened in 2 weeks. 2 weeks after he said that in the beginning of December of 2023, he came out and said what? Rate cuts. We're going to be cutting rates in 2024. What happened? Bottle rocket. This was not an up market. We were flat here, up, and then volatility. Okay, but net, it's been that. Ladies and gentlemen, when did we get a rate cut last year? September, the month before the election. I'm going to rant about this in a second. So, folks, this market went up on what? Hopes of a rate cut. What has happened, and I'm gonna ripple through it in a couple of minutes here. What has happened in the past month is incredibly bad for the stock market. Okay, and we're gonna get a report this week, but let's go back to the brief, and then we're gonna rip through here. So, wrong. Big B, big bearish. I would be surprised. I don't want to be right about this, folks, because I like down as Gordon Gecko, as Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. I love it. I want a 20% pullback in the S&P 500. I want people to get crushed. Panic is awesome. Greed is good. As Wiz, I don't want that. If you're not a TGO member, you're most likely going to get destroyed. I'm going to show you men lie, trades don't, all of our bullish and bearish double verticals recently. But ladies and gentlemen, a 20% down market, Wiz doesn't like, because people are going to get destroyed. Every time one of these things happens, people get destroyed and they get pissed. I'm never going to do this again. And I hate Wall Street and I hate trading. Their 401k becomes a 101k. It's most likely going to happen. What are you going to do if you're wrong, Wiz? I'm going to make money. What are you going to do if you're right? I'm going to make a lot more money. I don't care. But man, when my strategic mindset changes, and remember, strategy shouldn't change too much. Tactics can change all the time. I change my tactics all the time. Bearish double vertical, bullish double vertical, we're level, iron condor, and tactics change. Strategy, a little bit more silly putty, not concrete. But who is it? Colin Powell, My American Dream, one of the favorite books on my shelf. Never get so close to your strategic position that when presented with new intel or stuff, you don't change. So after being presented in the past month with everything we're going to talk about, could not disagree more. I still like tech, right? If you're new to TOPGUN Options, here's a favorite wizism. When in doubt, run to Microsoft and Amazon. Years ago, it used to be Apple. Apple sucks. It's rotten. I love Zuckerberg on Rogan, throwing shade on Apple. Apple really sucks. Steve Jobs made the iPhone 20 years ago, whenever, and they really haven't innovated. This coming from a dude who made Threads because of Twitter. This coming from, don't even start me with failing to innovate. How's your metaverse going, Zuck? You spent $12 billion on bodies that look like Weeblos. Wiz, I heard JP Morgan's buying like $20 million storefront in the metaverse. I don't understand that. I think that's fucking stupid. Well, you don't get it. And here's some NFTs you should buy. Do you remember that stupidity like in 2022? I nailed both of those things. And like the metaverse is a joke. God created something called, you ready for this? The universe. You don't need a headset to go on. You want to get fat and sit on your couch and eat Cheetos? Strap a thing on your face. Fail. NFTs, you don't get it, Wiz. Here's a JPEG of an ape for $8 million. Okay, I'm really an idiot. Fail. Anyway, money has to flow somewhere. So even if we experience what I think we might this year, a potential bear market, run to Ma. I ran the bonus board for 2 years when I was at Peak 6 Investments in Chicago, multi-billion-dollar volatility arbitrage firm. When at the end of the year, and this is the time, actually, this was the great time of year, January, man. Call them dudes into the office and ladies to give them bonus. But guess what? You didn't get paid a bonus for an Excel sheet like, hey, here's what I could have made. You make money on what? Profit, closed positions. So if we start imploding, or when we start imploding, this might be the beginning of it. Money, folks, money managers, hedge fund managers don't get paid for being in cash. Money has to flow somewhere. It has to be deployed. So usually Microsoft and Amazon are perfect flights to safety. If you're a fund manager and shit's going to hit the fan, you're going to bail on what? Stupid high flying stocks like an NVIDIA. All their chips, so to speak, in one basket, right? All the high flying names will get destroyed. I promise you. Will Microsoft and Amazon get kicked in the jimmy? Yeah, of course they will, but not as bad. Okay, so we talked about tech, financials. Under Trump, M&A is back. The old blue blood seersucker suit, Goldman Sachs, let's do lunch in the Hamptons and close a deal. That will be back. I still like the financials, and I especially like the financials for what? Trading. Again, when the market's going straight up or straight down, it's tough. But when it's like this, kind of like me, I print money in the volatility, right? Fixed income, currency, and commodity. It's called FICC, F-I-C-C. So the Death Star, Goldman Sachs, fixed income, currency, commodity, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, those will all do pretty good. But if the overall market is down 20%, financials will get kicked in the gut too, but they will be kicked in the gut less. If you fly to safety, you go to Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, okay? Defense, and I'm going to dig into these more tomorrow because we have to mainly focus on Amazon today. Defense will be okay for a little bit, and then it will implode. Why? Do you not hear Trump? I'm going to end this war in 24 hours. Now we know that's Trump being Trump. Mike Waltz, Congressman Waltz, met him up in Palm Beach a month ago at a speech. Congressman who's now the National Security Advisor. Seeing him on, I think it was Bartiromo, made me want to vomit. I call Trump out on his shit. I've lost friends because of this, because they're Trump cult members, right? Ultra MAGA. How dare you criticize Trump? Now I know why people definitely think you guys are nuts. Why? Mike Waltz said yesterday, the incoming National Security Advisor said, well, we're going to really pressure Zelensky to lower the draft age to 18. The fuck did you just say? That's not what I voted for. I voted for you to end the war. Now you're going to go force Zelensky to recruit 8 kids my son's age to go die on a battlefield, to go die for what we all know is going to happen. They're going to freeze wherever they are. Russia's going to keep what they got, including Crimea. There ain't no way that's getting back. And there'll be some peacekeeping force in the middle. That's what's going to happen. You ain't taking back any of that shit, even if you lower the age to 18. I'm furious with Mike Waltz and Donald Trump. I did not vote for that. That's not ending the war. Could you imagine being the parents? Could you imagine being the 18-year-old kid? the last 18-year-old Ukrainian kid that gets killed before they go, okay, let's just freeze the lines here. Could you imagine being the parents? My son was the last kid killed before this thing. I'm furious with Donald Trump. Unbelievable. You're right, Mark. Waltz is a part of the military industrial complex. So why am I ranting about this? Because for the next year or two, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, General Dynamics, they'll stabilize. We're out of weapons, guys. We have no, we're rippling off shit in the Red Sea. We gave a ton to Israel. We gave a ton to Ukraine. We're out of weapons. So we need, I guarantee, I can already tell you the Trump speech, his first day at the Pentagon. I'm told we're out of weapons. Unbelievable. I got handed a shit sandwich. We're out of weapons. I'm going to rebuild the military just like I had to after Obama. Horrible people, but I won't blame them, but I'll blame them. So he's going to have to spend to get the military back to level. But after that, allegedly, the dude is anti-war. So we're not going to be doing what we were doing. So defense, I'm short-term neutral, longer-term bearish. But as somebody just pointed out, the MIC, one of the only generals in our history to win a war, General Eisenhower, President Eisenhower said that in one of his speeches. I think it was his farewell address. Beware of the MIC, folks. Military industrial complex. They're not going anywhere, and they need boogeymen. Finally, psychedelics. We're going to talk about this on Wednesday with AR, Accelerated Retirement. We will talk about the Make America Healthy Again movement. We're going to talk about REITs, real estate investment trusts. Okay, I've given a couple names lately that are going to the moon. I'm in my own REIT. It's not my REIT. It's a REIT 1920. I think 20 TGM as somebody joined the REIT last week. The next 4 years, and if they don't, I'll take a flamethrower to Trump again, and all of them, if they don't talk the talk, right? I know Democrats are full of shit. Every time I went to DC, like, oh yeah, psychedelics, wrong. We're in bed with Big Pharma. Take your 8th COVID booster, and we're pro-war too. If you don't love sending money to wars, you're awful. The political parties in this country have completely reversed. It's insanity. All right, here we go. Quick strategic brief, and then we're going to talk about Amazon. Israel, US, UK launched new airstrikes on Yemen to hunt Houthi leaders. Once again, folks, dudes in fucking Toyota pickup trucks are beating us. They're launching $5,000, $10,000 drones against shipping. We're downing those drones with what? With $1 million missiles. I might not be the best trader in the world. Actually, I am. That just doesn't sound like a good trade. Hopefully this changes in 7 days or whatever it is. Hopefully we get a tweet like, dear Houthi, like you said to the Iranian mullah that one time, if you talk like that again about the US or harm one American, I will rain fire and fury down on you, the likes the world has never seen. The guy shut up. The Houthis, we're going to destroy and kill, and it's unbelievable. Joe Biden throws a couple, missiles into a Houthi garage. If I were Donald Trump, I'd be, the next time you launch a drone at a ship, the next time you target one of our carriers or one of our ships or aircraft, I will destroy your capital. I will fucking level it. And then do it. And that's not me. If you believe in proportional responses, you're an idiot. There is no such thing as proportional in warfare. It needs to be the exact opposite. Why? So it's quick and not as bad. This death by 1,000 cuts is the horror of war. Somebody runs up to you, pulls out a gun, and shoots you in the chest. Aha, I have a bulletproof vest on. Oh, well, darn it. I almost got you. All right, you have a good day. Fuck that. That's when you pull your gun out and you blow the guy's head off. Like, give me this proportional bullshit. It's so stupid. Anyway, that's strategic. Let's go with this. Look at this headline. Investors hope earnings season can revive faltering rally. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, when you see a word like hope in a headline, we're in trouble. What's the other word you see sometimes in a headline when the market's looking like it's looking? Fear. Markets go up on hope and go down on fear, right? Look at this, folks. That bearish double vertical from last week, what did I say? Was 200. It's probably up about 300% right now. Pigs get slaughtered, folks. Make sure you close that trade when it hits your profit target. I'm out. And you ready for this? I don't look back on it and go, well, you moron, you could have made 350% profit by today. I made 125% profit. If I'm sad that I didn't make more, I'm one of the most miserable human beings on the planet. No one has gone broke taking a profit. And just as easily, that could have happened, which has happened recently. Remember, we've been dogfighting the market with these S&P 500 trades. What did I draw on this chart last week for everybody? Right here, 58.50, I drew that line, and then I drew what? A descending triangle. Folks, this is an extremely bearish technical analysis thing. I told you last week, only one of two things can physically happen. It doesn't go to infinity down here, and right? I drew that arrow and I drew that arrow up and down. Let me get rid of green since all the banner ads over here are getting in my way. This ain't hard, folks. I said only one of two things will happen, that or this. And what did I tell you I believed was going to happen? That. So you're welcome if you're still in that trade for your 350% profit. Okay. Now, back to the hopes. Look at the subheadline. With the Fed unlikely to cut interest rates as quickly as hoped, corporate earnings growth becomes even more critical. Oh. Now let's all take some time to pat Wiz on the back because I've been right. 4 years. Let's debrief how we got to where we are right now. We put on right here, ladies and gentlemen, a bearish double vertical. Tuesday of that week. Why? Because Wednesday was the Fed meeting. I said there ain't no way Jerome Powell, first of all, is, he's going to cut. He will cut 25 and it will be a, say it with me, hawkish cut. Personally, I call it a coward cut. The only reason he cut was because the markets expected it. Well, we have to cut. The Fed funds futures rate say a 98% probability we're going to cut tomorrow. So if we don't, the market's really going to freak out. What did the market do anyway, Jerome? You should be fired. So we put on a bearish double vertical, and I think that one was like a 200, 250% profit in a day or two. I think that I closed mine on Friday. And then we did a bullish double vertical. We'll talk about this tomorrow. But what I'm doing now is giving you our operational picture right now. Jerome Powell came out at that Fed meeting and said what? Woo. Think we're gonna hold rates for now, steady. We were scheduled to get 4 cuts this year, 2025. Now it's throttled back to 2. I told you last month, and I was right and will be right, we're not going to get any. And as a matter of fact, we should get a rate, say it with me, increase. Jerome Powell absolutely failed when he cut 50 basis points in September, right in front of an election. The non-political Federal Reserve cut 50 points in front of an election. Now, in hindsight, as you could read in all these articles I'm showing you, just about everybody says that was the dumbest thing ever. Who was right all along? This guy. I said, I'm shocked he cut 50. He should have raised 50. Ladies and gentlemen, inflation, as we're going to see in a second here, has been going back up. And the apolitical Fed is now finding a scapegoat. Who's the scapegoat? A guy that's not even in office. Did you see the most political Fed minutes that I've read in 30, 4 years of doing this. Central bank cut rates, but saw risks of somewhat firmer price pressures. Why? Because the Inflation Reduction Build Back Better, infrastructure, COVID spending? No. About maybe what Donald Trump might do in the future. You're a fucking coward, Jerome Powell and Fed chiefs. Absolute disgraceful. Look at this headline. FOMC minutes show almost all members see higher inflation risk. Why? Well, Trump. These people suck. They have two jobs, price stability and inflation. We're going to talk about the jobs number in a second here, but ladies and gentlemen, you should believe this. They're blaming Donald Trump. The Fed staff, who are Democrats, by the way, the Fed staff incorporated placeholder assumptions about potential policy changes under the incoming president. Oh my God. Not a single mention in the past 4 years about Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the Democrats blowout spending. $35 trillion in debt we are. Jerome Powell prints money out of thin air. When asked at a press conference by somebody like me, who actually has the nerve to ask a truthful question, no comment about the administration and their spending and everything that's been going on. Where we're an apolitical, I shy away from policy discussions, and we let the elected people. Okay, Jerome. Not a word. Never even said the word Biden during his 4 years in office. Jerome Powell. Donald Trump not sworn in yet. Well, we got a lot of shit going on because of what might happen. I can't stand these people. Then what happened? Look at this, folks. Then what happened? Okay, so that happened. Then what happens? Blowout jobs numbers. Absolutely the worst thing that could happen. Not for the people who got jobs, I'm talking about in general. This is awful. We are no longer, we're in like super bizarro market. Why? Because good news is awful news, right? In regular bizarro market, good news is good news, bad news is good news, and awful news is great news. Blowout jobs numbers means that Jerome Powell, there is no way in hell he's cutting rates anytime soon. The job market ain't showing cracks like we've kind of been saying, that we've landed this plane softly. We flew into the side of a mountain a year ago, Jerome. You're an idiot. Employment growth is stronger than expected, with data putting Fed's further rate cuts in doubt. Oh, man. This all happened in the past month, baby. It gets worse. I love these headlines. Scorching hot December jobs. Unexpectedly adds as unemployment drops. Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen. This was the worst case scenario for the stock market. Okay. So Jerome Powell is in the worst possible, he's in an approach turnstile if you're an aviator. Solid, hot jobs market and inflation going up. It doesn't, in the Fed's handbook of holy shit, this is bad, we're in it. Did someone say tight money? I love when the Wall Street Journal finally takes a flamethrower to the Fed. The Fed shouldn't exist. What a disgusting organization. When we got off the gold standard and we're just printing money out of thin air that's backed by nothing, it was the end of us. But don't get me on that rant. The Fed's premature rate cuts look worse all the time. You need to, well, that was good while it lasted, about an hour. The good news, did you see what the market did? Man, I was in here trading my ass off. When it initially went up, I'm like pounded into the dirt. Bearish double, I sent out a trade alert. Everybody get the trade alert? Bearish double vertical, man, and we pounded that shit into the dirt. Look at that. Bang, another bearish double vertical, another triple digit profit. Okay, so the Wall Street Journal taking the Fed to task is beautiful. The markets are behaving as if good jobs news is bad news for interest rates and perhaps inflation. They're not crazy. Thank you, Wall Street Journal, for agreeing with me. This is where do they hit them in? The markets have reacted to those cuts by sending long bond rates up. The 10-year hit 4.76 on Friday. Does anybody remember what happened when the last time the 10-year hit 5? Woohoo! We had a bear market. It has climbed by 100 basis points since the rate cut. Uh-oh, that's not good. No, it isn't. The 30-year bond is close to 5, which means that the average fixed year 30-year is 7. Folks, this is bad. Somehow we doubt the market response that Fed Chair Jerome Powell and his mates wanted. Will the Fed admit its mistakes? Don't count on it. Unbelievable, folks. But the Fed hasn't seemed to mind the Biden administration running true $2 trillion deficits while the economy grows at 3% a year. The Fed would be better off looking inward at its financial models for why it keeps making these mistakes. Whoa. And again, folks, they used a lot of words to say what I say with blunt force. Last week, University of Michigan inflation expectations soared to the highest since 2008. I want that to settle in with you. University of Michigan inflation expectations by you and me. It's like 5,000 people in that survey. Whoa. And finally, rate cuts. Well, I could have moved that over. Rate cuts dim further after jobs report. Unbelievable. Treasury market, first 5% yield in a sign of what could come. Treasuries hit 5%, folks. We will see a 20% bear market correction. I guarantee you. Now, here we go. Trump inherits a deeply damaged economy. I told you this a year ago when he was getting indicted and everything like that. I'm like, I don't think Trump should want to win this election. He will be the dog that catches the car. Everything sucks. I'm an American. I buy eggs. I go to Costco. I put gas in my car. I talk to people. Things suck. People have 5 jobs because of inflation. Well, Wiz, the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, no, it's the Biden labor statistics. This economic data has been bullshit for years. It's a lie. And now that jobs report, the last one under Biden, of course, that was the chef's kiss. We are handing, you ready? Let's do it. We are handing Donald Trump the best economy in history. Let me move this one over a little bit. Remember this story? Biden's Treasury accused of trying to juice the economy before the election. Unbelievable. What's this? Oh, this fund manager forecast a 20% gain last year. Now he's saying cash is king. Dan Niles, 20% risk off, 20% sell off if inflation reignites. Hey, Dan, welcome to the party, pal. Inflation is reignited. I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, over the next 3 to 6 months to a year, in 2025, the Biden labor statistics and every other macroeconomic indicator will be awful. And you know what's going to happen. I inherited the worst economy ever. Joe Biden, Kamala, awful. I don't want to hear it, Donald. Shut up. I can't stand when somebody assumes command and keeps talking about their predecessor. Shut it. You are in charge. Fix it. And I'm gonna give the guy a little bit of leash right now to say you are getting a shit sandwich, dude. Did you see one of Biden's tweets? I mean, clearly the guy doesn't tweet. His purple hair, nipple ring, non-cis gender binary Twitter person said, I'm handing Donald Trump the best economy ever in the history of people. Tony, just closed my SPX bearish double vertical for 206%. Nice job, Tony. All right. About 2 more minutes, and then we're going to talk about Amazon. Why? Because what do we get this week? On Tuesday, inflation. We get core PPI, and regular PPI. What does core mean? It means X, excluding something, right? Now let's scroll down to Wednesday. Wednesday will be an absolutely insane day. Let's dig into it. CPI is the Fed's inflation gauge. Let's look at a picture. I'm a poor kid from South Jersey, South Philadelphia. Kids, sorry about Penn State. They suck. Go Irish. So look at inflation. I'm old enough to remember Donald Trump. Donald Trump. 2.5% inflation was the peak. Under Trump. It was usually down 1.5%. Joe Biden and Democrats, 9.1%. They, of course, blamed Putin. They, of course, blamed COVID. They, of course, blamed what? Oh, supply chain issues. Who else did they blame? Oh, Trump. I mean, everything was to blame except all of their spending. And of course, when it came down, what did they do? They took credit for it coming down. Hey, man, you don't get to be the arsonist and then get a medal for being a firefighter. Then what has happened recently? First of all, it's stuck. It's sticky. The worst case scenario for the Fed. Now let's zoom in a little bit. What has it been doing for the past 3 months? Going up. This is awful. Now, does Wednesday CPI, which is forecast right now, folks, to go up, we're almost at 3. What is the Fed's target inflation rate? Say it with me. 2%. So ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a week. I could have been shooting snipers this whole brief, but I'm focused on you all. Look at the S&P 500. If inflation comes in hot, folks, we might finally get a flush down to the 150-day moving average. Now, I'm not a big 150-day moving average guy, but why do I have that up? Because that's where we've been bouncing off of. The last big pullback, we never made it down to a 200-day. Right there, I think that might have kissed a 200-day, but this was 150-day hugging going on. If we get hot inflation this week, we absolutely will go down to the, let me bring the, where would be the 200-day moving average be? Wow, 56.75. Folks, I had nearly 3,000 hours in the Hornet. Should have done a couple more cross countries and fat fingered it. Why do I bring that up? Because you feel the airplane. When you have that much time in a jet, I knew the 12 Hornets in my squadron like the back of my hand. I knew each one and what their quirks were. After you do this for 3 decades, you feel things. I am not bullish right now at all. I'm bearish, as a matter of fact. We have a reckoning coming. And it's a self-licking ice cream cone. What do I mean by that? The financial media folks, especially the libtards on CNBC, will be none too happy to spike economic report footballs. The people at Market Watch, the people at the New York Times. Oh, Donald Trump was handed a great thing and he's screwing it up. Market will go down. People listen to this bullshit. Once again, I don't care, man. Namaste. I got my maverick mind. I meditate. I do my yoga. I don't care where the market's going. The market goes. Let it flow and profit from it. But I'm telling you, folks, this is going to happen. It's a fact. They're already licking their chops. I see them talking about it like the clowns this morning, like, well, he's, everything's great right now. Let's see what Trump can do. This is going to happen. Anyway, that went way longer than I wanted, but now that's kind of all out of the way. Now we can really get tactical and trade. Amazon, I already told you a little while ago, when in doubt, run them off. Amazon had a monster run. Why? Because it's the Death Star. They had a magnificent Santa Claus rally. We had, show of hands, how many people in here did those? Right here, folks. If you don't join Top Gun Options, you're a fool, but I'm going to give you a free trade right now. On your calendar right now, open up your calendar and put a reminder, a calendar reminder, mid-November of every year, and make it annual. Forever have this calendar reminder come up to you, because we don't die, we only transition. When I transition, I will still be doing this every middle of December. The middle of every December, you should get a calendar reminder that says, get bullish on Amazon. Why? It's called the Santa Claus rally, folks. It's a thing because it's a thing. I guarantee you. Black Friday, Amazon goes nuts. Cyber Monday, Amazon goes nuts. Do you remember, we in this room, we're all old enough to remember what? Insane people sleeping out at 3 in the morning in front of Best Buy to go beat each other up to save 10 bucks on a TV. You don't have to leave your home ever again, which I'm just fine with. Why do you want to go see another human being? You want to order a toothbrush? Do it right now. Why do you want to go to a Walgreens or a CVS? If you do it in the shithole California, it's behind plastic anyway. Walgreens announced they're closing like 10 more stores in San Francisco. Bye. So ladies and gentlemen, Amazon, we had burner, I think I did a burner trade. I think this was like a 400 or 500% gainer. We did a burner trade. This is what happens with Amazon. Rip your face off Santa Claus rally, then we hover, and then usually we pull back. February, folks, is usually a shit show. Okay? It's just seasonal. September, October is usually a shit show, and then February. Okay? So we got a November Santa Claus rally into December. It ended a little early, but one of the reasons it ended early, usually it does something like this. It's a gradual Santa rally, hover in January, and then shit show in February. This is a little more steep. That's why it ended sooner. Everybody shake your head and tell me, you know what, I understand that. Monster Amazon rally. So we're going to end that a little early and then fade a little bit. That's what happens. Now, with Amazon, we have earnings. Did they finalize it yet? Let's go look. Amazon. No, they haven't. So you see down here, folks, it says February 6th, estimated. The only place to find out where Amazon earnings are officially going to be is where? Your E-Trade platform. False, wrong. And I've seen that being wrong. The only place to find where the earnings announcement is going to be is the IR page of a public company. You go to Amazon.com, somewhere on everywhere, it says investor relations. It's a public statement by them. Now, brokerage firms, their AI are supposed to sweep that stuff and auto update this. I've seen that wrong before in my history of trading, folks. That date's wrong. Oh, that's weird. Even though it says confirmed, I'm like, well, you failed. My point being is it's usually pretty damn close, okay? So, not earnings whispers, folks. I've even seen that site wrong. Absolutely false. The only place is the company's webpage, period. Now, usually Amazon channels going into earnings. What do I mean by that? We usually get first of all, the company enters what? It's called a quiet period. Shh. Jeff Bezos doesn't work there anymore. You know why Jeff Bezos isn't the CEO anymore? Do you remember during that, it was like 2022? It was 21 or 22. He got hauled up in front of Congress. I mean, it was virtual because it was COVID, right? What was that hearing for? Was Zuck there too? Was Ken? I forget what hearing it was, but he was pulled up in front of Congress virtually, and he got ripped to shreds. I actually felt bad for the guy, even though it's hard to feel bad for Jeff Bezos. I think, and it was funny, I predicted this before the next earnings announcement. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Jeff is not going to be the CEO anymore. Breaking news, Andy Jassy, Jeff Bezos has stepped down. Andy Jassy is the new CEO. Why? Because Jeff ain't going through any of that bullshit again. Hey, here's the commanding officer hat. I'm going to be on the on the poop deck. So clearly Jeff Bezos still controls Amazon, but anyway. So Amazon earnings are coming up, and we've had a monster run in earnings, folks. Let's just look at a little earnings history. There are people in this room who are going to name their grandchildren after me. Why? Remember this Q3 earnings on Amazon. The stock was at 190. Earnings came out. You know what the earnings were? They were pretty solid. The stock went from 190 to 150. It lost $40. The next day in a brief, what did I tell you to do? I said, sell the wife, the kids, mortgage the house, put everything you own on this planet into Amazon. It went down like $40, folks, because what? The forecast was obscene profit, but they had great profit. We wanted obscene. Seriously? So I'll never forget that Amazon brief where I told you to do that. And then if you did that, you went from whatever it was. What are we doing here? To 230. Now we pulled back a little bit. I don't care. But folks, holy shit. You essentially made $100 in that Amazon run. Now, if you're sitting here going, Wiz, it's great. That's the left side of the chart. I haven't joined this program yet. This is a gift. Right here, Amazon pulling back to we're almost at the 50-day moving average right now. Here. That was an anomaly. This was good. This $40 pullback was good, folks. Why? Because it readjusted Amazon thinking, right? For years, everybody's like obscene. They're going to report blowout numbers. And they always did. Maybe one or two times, whatever, an anomaly miss. This reset everybody back a little bit and said, okay, Amazon's a cash king. It's everything it does, it takes over. But let's come back to earth. This was awesome. So now all the earning estimates that are starting to come out a couple weeks before earnings are all over the place, but they're a lot more realistic. So if or when Amazon gets back to obscene, you're going to see a monster, even bigger rally. But I don't mind Amazon being in they're going to be very solid numbers, which is perfect. Either way, folks, we get back to obscene or we stick with good. This is going to happen. Now, for all the new folks, I'm going to introduce you to a tactic. And, people always ask, current members even like, hey, I have one up here or I have one down here. Should I add a new one? You do whatever you want to do, folks. And I also have people who, before you even ask, like, well, if earnings are coming out in a month, why don't we wait? Why don't we wait to place a long-term bullish trade on Amazon? How do you know it's going to pull back? Well, how do you know it's going to go up? I don't. But in the span of, I think we can go out 2.5 years out into the future, you're not going to care if you could have gotten Amazon for 10, 20 bucks more. Now let's go to the tape here. So I'm going to show you how to do a bullish long-term trade on Amazon and then a front month trade. But real quick, let's go look. They said February 6th was maybe going to be earnings, right? There's a February 7th expiration. Why am I going to look at this? Because I like looking at what the market thinks the move is going to be. So right now the stock is close to 218. Let's look down at the options chain. If you don't know what an options chain is, I'm going to give you access here in a couple minutes to join TGO and learn about options. But there's a 215 strike and there's a 220. Okay, so there's no 217.60 strike in the middle. So let's go. I mean, literally, that's in between the two strikes. Let's just do, 215. We're going to look at something called the at the money straddle for February 7th, the day after earnings. it's $15. You double it. The options market is pricing, why'd the price just go away? 215. Let me do this again. The options market is pricing a move that Amazon stays with, and then the strikes go away. Anyway, folks, why does it keep doing that? One more time. Straddle, you sell it, and then the expiration. When does it disappear? February 7th, it decides to disappear. Anyway, folks, it's a $30, you double it, 30. So that means that they're pricing in a move up to 247 or whatever, 200, whatever it is. Okay, that's a pretty wide at the money straddle. That's all the way up here and all the way down here. Let's go look at it out here. That's $15 up and then $15 down. Okay, so that's pretty big. Either Amazon's going to get back on its horse and recover, or we're going to head down to here. Now, if we head down, I'd be stunned. Based on how Amazon did in here, all the reports I heard after Black Friday and Cyber Monday was, oh my God, we're crushing it. So I'd be stunned if Amazon does not report blowout Q4 earnings. But here's the problem, or not necessarily the problem, here's the risk, is earnings, an earnings call is 80-20. Let me just explain what that means. 20% is the past. Here's how we did this quarter. We bought Thanksgiving and Christmas. We now own it. It was disgusting. We printed money. Yay! You've seen this in the stock after hours or before market open. You can see it as the call goes on, right? Oh my God. It was disgusting how much money they made. Stock's up 20%. The rest, the 80%, the rest of the earnings call is what? The forward guidance. Amazon could report blowout earnings. Never seen anything like it before. Yay, stock rallies. And then the CEOs say what? However, the forecast ahead with the inflation still raging and a potential Trump tariff trade war, it's not looking too good for Q1. Look out below. This is why most retail traders can't stand Wall Street. Wait a minute, they reported blowout earnings and I bought some calls and I lost money on them. Yeah. 80-20 when it comes to earnings, folks. So there is a risk to the downside that they do something like that. If the Fed's already doing this, the guy's not in office yet, but he might do some crazy shit that'll hurt the economy. What? CEOs can do the same thing. Now, I'm talking bad, but let me clean it up and talk good. Got to always present the other side too. They could do the exact opposite. Jeff Bezos, when Trump ran for president the first time, was asked, he was on stage at a conference, what do you think about Trump running for president? That guy's an idiot. I'd put him in one of my Blue Origin rockets, which they just had to stand down today. Don't laugh too loud, Jeff. I'd put him in one of my rockets and blast him into space. What happened 2 weeks ago? Mr. President-elect, congratulations. Can we do dinner at Mar-a-Lago? So anyway, the line of people lined up the street for me to kiss his ring like goes past our street. They could do the exact opposite. We blew out earnings and we think it's going to be a great year. Stock's going to rally. I'm briefing you on that because you have to decide. Because right now I'm going to spend the time to show you a long-term bullish position on Amazon. But if you think, dude, I'm buying everything you're selling, man. I think we're going to get destroyed short term here. Don't do this trade. Or join Solo Amazon today, and I'm going to show you a bearish trade on Amazon leading into earnings. That's a separate discussion. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to options trading, welcome aboard. Let's pull up the options chain and get rid of everything. If you wanted to buy 100 shares of Amazon right now, today, you need to come out of pocket 21,700 bucks. 21,700 bucks. Everybody's got that right now, right? To buy 100 shares of Amazon. You ready? No. I'm a cheap son of a bitch. I'm going to show you how to use options to get long-term bullish out to June of 2027 using a tactic called synthetic stock. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? So I'm going to click on the options chain. If you know nothing about options, you probably know at least this bare minimum. If you're bullish on something, what do? Well, I could buy a call. I've heard that before at a cocktail party. I bought some calls on Apple. I think it's going to go up around earnings, and then I'm going to lose money. Right. If you're bullish on Amazon, you could buy some calls. Which calls would you buy? Well, you see, it's tough with the black screen, but below 215 strike, there's a little gray background. That's called in the money. And then the no gray background down here is called out of the money. The 215 strike is just a little in the money, but let's just call it at the money. All right, so let's click on that. If I buy one June of 2027 215 call, I am controlling 100 shares of stock. There is nobody in this room that can tell me why you would rather spend 21,726 bucks to buy 100 shares of stock. Before you start typing, let me tell you you're wrong in both cases. Well, Wiz, if I buy these shares, I can get a dividend. Jeff Bezos, if you were talking to him and he was drinking coffee when you said that, he would have spit it in your face. Amazon don't have a dividend, baby. Jeff Bezos, the first day he started his company, said, if I make money, I'm going to take the profit and roll it back into the company. I'm going to buy a new airplane, a competitor, put that guy out of business, get some attorneys to fight the FTC. There is no such thing as a dividend with Amazon. Tell me why you would buy 100 shares of Amazon. All right, well, I'm not getting the dividend. Oh, wait a minute. I get to vote. I own the shares. I'm a shareholder. Jeff Bezos could find 100 shares of Amazon in his couch. He and his ex-wife probably own a little bit more than you and probably have a couple more votes. So the two reasons why you'd buy stock are completely destroyed. And instead of spending 21,726 bucks, you are only spending 5,600 bucks. Okay. I just saved you 16 grand. Woo, Wiz, I don't have 5 grand right now to buy that call option. Guess what? I'm going to get it 50% cheaper. If you've heard a little bit about options, well, if I buy this call on Bullish, you'd be right. You probably have also heard at that cocktail party, I'm bearish on stocks. I'm going to buy some puts. So if you've ever heard that, you know that buying a put means I'm bearish. I think something's going to go down. Somebody has to sell that put. If you're a put seller, they don't think something's going to go down. They're the insurance company. That's not going to go down. I'll sell you that put. I'll sell you that policy. So selling a put is bullish. Buying a put's bearish. Selling it is bullish. So why don't we sell a single June 27, 215 put? Oh my God, Wiz, you literally cut that in half. Today, ladies and gentlemen, to get long-term bullish 100 shares years into the future, you don't need 21,726 bucks. You don't need 5,600 bucks. You only need 2,400 bucks. I'm not going to sit here and waste time and show you all the results from our solo Amazon members with one contract, folks. We've had people make 50, 60, sometimes $100,000 in 2.5 years, assuming Amazon goes up and to the right. You don't do synthetic stock on a stock that ain't going to move up and to the right over the next 2 years, right? Now, before we really super celebrate, let's go look at the risk. Joe, that's exactly where I'm going. Oh my God, Wiz, 24 grand. Yeah. You have the same risk as if you bought 100 shares of stock, folks. If you bought 100 shares of Amazon stock today, what's your max risk? Well, Amazon goes to zero and I lose all my money. Duh. It's the same risk in the options world. What is the probability of Amazon going to zero in the next 2.5 years? It is the same as Mr. Blutarski's GPA in Animal House, 0.00. Now, the odds of getting killed by a golden retriever are never zero. The odds of Amazon going to zero in the next 2.5 are never zero. I think in Chicago, I actually did the math one day. I think it's 15 decimal points and a 1. So can that happen? Of course, anything can happen in God's universe. Will it happen? No. But Joe just asked, he said, hey, what about the margin requirements? So here's how I'm going to get around a bunch of stuff. First of all, I never went flying in the F-18 without an ejection seat. Kid and I fly our L-39 for our foundation. We don't go flying without our ejection seats. Matter of fact, I just bought brand new parachutes because they had to be replaced. We are going to place what I call a protective put underneath the stock. What's a disaster, or what would be bad? Well, Wiz, if you said the market's going to go down 20% this year, or if Amazon goes down 20%, that would be bad. I use 20%. Let's go buy what I call a protective put, about 20% underneath the stock price. And I'm just doing some mental math. What's that? 170, 180. What's 20%? I think it's one. Is there a 175? 175. Okay. And one of them. I'm going to buy a single June 27, 175 put. Now, the price of the trade just went up a little bit. Why? You're buying some insurance, baby. You're buying some protection. But what did it also do? Joe was asking about the margin. Instead of risking, what was it, 24 grand? My call sign's Wiz. Watch me do some magic. Abracadabra. Reduce the max potential loss. 8 grand. This trade went from risking 24 grand in case Amazon went to zero to 8. For all the chumps in the room that would rather buy 100 shares of stock, folks, God forbid Amazon does go to zero in the next 2.5 years, you take the max loss of 20 plus grand. Me, I'd only lose 8,200 bucks. Suckers. Nobody in this room, if you didn't know anything about options and you're just a stock trader, this is usually the time the light bulb goes off above the head and goes, why have I been trading stocks for years? I have no idea why. Instead of coming out of pocket 20 something grand, you come out of pocket 4. You can deploy the 16 plus grand that you're not spending in the other stuff, can't you? It is an absolute waste of time. I'm not done with my magic, folks. We can bring in a little bit of money each week to pay off this 4,200 bucks. How? It's called selling a front month. What's the front month? What's that mean, Wiz? You're in a front month, January, February, March. Those are called the front months. We did a long-term bullish trade years into the future. Now I'm going to place a front month trade. We could sell a call above Amazon out to Friday, right? We could sell, what's Friday? Jan 25. Look at this, folks. I'm making money right now. Instead of coming out of pocket, what was it, 4,200 bucks? I'm bringing in, if I sell a single 220 call out to Friday, that's about 200 bucks. I just reduced my cost basis, man. I guarantee you within whatever, 3, 4, 5 months, this is paid off. The trade's paid for. So if Amazon's going down or level, we can still make money and pay the trade off. Now, hopefully they have blowout earnings and it gets back. This was a nice We had a rip your face off rally, leveled off, pulled back like I said it would, and now we're ready to consolidate and head higher. Ladies and gentlemen, this is fantastic. This is the trade I would do. Let me grab a screenshot because I'll send this in the replay email. This is the trade that I would do today if Wiz, first time in your squadron, man. Getting long-term bullish on Amazon sounds like the thing to do. This is the trade that I would do. As I'm grabbing screenshots of this, let's talk about managing that front month short call. What do I mean by that? That 220 call that I sold out the Friday, I'm bringing in $200. Point, no matter what, I bring in that $200. That's mine to keep, no matter what happens this week. If it stays below 220 on Friday, I keep it. If it stays above 220 by Friday, I keep that credit I took in. However, if Amazon closes above 220 by Friday, that call is in the money. Sellers, when you sell an option, you have an obligation. When you buy a call option, you have a right. I have the right to buy 100 shares of Amazon 2.5 years into the future. Buyers have rights. Sellers have obligations. I sold a single 220 call out the Friday. That means I am obligated to deliver 100 shares of Amazon at 220. So if it's above 220 by Friday's market close and you didn't close that, you are obligated to deliver 100 shares of stock. If you don't have that in your account, Saturday morning in your bunny slippers, drinking your coffee, you will be short 100 shares of stock. Okay, so I'm going to go place this trade over, or I already have my synthetic. I have synthetic stock up at 225, guys. So mine's underwater right now. I don't care. It's 2.5 years out in the future. And you can see it right here, folks. You see this? This is my existing position down here. I have synthetic stock at 225. So if you get into this position today at 215, you're already beating Wiz, which I absolutely love. Okay. So manage the short calls. Monty, it is. So Monty, we need to go through some options training, right? Monty said, hey, Friday is January 17th. Yeah, it is. But on the E-Trade platform, the third Friday of every January is what? Regular options expiration. So E-Trade displays it as Jan of 25. Jan of 25 means the 1, 2, 3, the third Friday of the month. So your brokerage platform might display Jan 17, 25. Mine does not. It shows monthly options as this, and it shows weekly options as that. Okay. Every once in a while, somebody posts that. I'm like, it's the same expiration, man. We learned this in our options training. Now you're going to go get a free look at our app. Well, this is the web thing, but the app's on the phone. When you join Solo Amazon, and I got to get going because I have a shitload of meetings, I am going to place this new Solo Amazon June 27 synthetic stock. Okay, I type at everyone, and everyone in this channel, you can see over here grayed out, 550 people are about to get this trade on their cell phone. So I don't do text alerts anymore. Text alerts are so 2020. We do app alerts. And you can open your phone. You can be in Death My Meeting right now, and you're going to get this alert right there. Publish. Boom. Then I'm going to go over here, and I'm also going to post it real quick in my hunters. We have a trade alert thread. We can talk about the hunters tomorrow. New Amazon June 27 synthetic stock. I have this position at 225. Just to let people know I'm already in it, but mine's a little more expensive. And it's down a little bit. Who cares? I'm paying off that trade with the front month short calls, and then I put it in the lifetime group. This is our elite team here. New Amazon synthetic stock, June 27. I have yeah, I'll tell you how to join in a second here. Just let me finish. I have existing position at 225. My phone just dinged. That means I just got the alert, which is awesome. There you go. So folks, this is what our member is. Alexander, what is another name for synthetic option? My broker does not have such a combination. So Alexander, if you're using a brokerage platform that is like, you know, if you bring something up, an order ticket, and you're like pulling down a list of a bunch of things, it's not on there, man. You got to build it. You got to build it exactly how I just built it. If you get on the phone with them and, you know, to ask them, you know, it's synthetic stock. No, you know, the guy or gal on the other end of the phone is going to know exactly what you're talking about. This is our membership area, folks. And again, we have an app on the phone. Everything that I'm showing you is on this app. Down here is our solo Amazon member area. At the top is, you know, where you click, it says join the brief Mondays at 10 a.m. This is where you log in to the sessions. And then here's all the replays. Here is our, you know, the replay from the brief is posted at the top. That's the video. And then you scroll down and you can, I place all the trades in here as well. So I also send an email after the brief. You just got an app alert. You're also going to get an email when I get done this brief with the trade, because I'm nice. And then you can go over here in the member area and do all that stuff too. Okay. What if, Sam, what if Amazon falls below 215? Then we lose. Can you explain? Sam, Amazon, so my position right now, Sam, is underwater right here. I put this on like last week. It's underwater. It's down a little bit of money. Who cares? So Sam, this is a long-term bullish position years into the future. Stocks go up, stocks go down. So Sam asking, do we lose? My trade is currently underwater because I put it on last week up here when Amazon was at 225. So I'm making money by selling short calls against it. I'm also going to make money after I get done this brief. I'm going to do an Amazon weekly trade that I'm going to send out to my current members. You're getting enough free stuff right now where I'm not going to send you that trade. But we trade the front month. So you can be bipolar. We have a long-term bullish position in Amazon on, but last week we did a bear call spread on Amazon, right? That made max profit. So we trade the front months. If Amazon's going down, we trade front month spreads to make money. If Amazon's going up, we trade spreads. When Amazon has been level, I think 2 weeks ago, we did an iron condor, which is a range bound tactic. So it matters absolutely nothing to me that trades underwater a little bit. Does that make sense? If you're not long-term bullish on Amazon out into the future, don't do the trade. If Amazon falls below your 215 strike, yeah, the trade will be showing a loss, but it's 2 years into the future, man. It's, folks, if you place a trade and you expect it to be immediately green, you're doing it wrong. Like if anything turns red for a little bit, you freak. Folks, this is a long-term bullish position on Amazon, years into the future. And then one more time, I'm going to remind you that I am going to turn around and start trading the front month so we can bring in more money to pay for that synthetic stock trade. Okay? All right, man. And look at that. See right there, it says Go Collab notification right there. Click on it and bring up the app. It's called Go Collab is the app. Boom, right there. And it loads and I'm looking at the trade. This is awesome. I hated the text alerts and shit like that. There it is right there. WizBuckley post. There's the order ticket. There's the other order ticket. Boom. So you can be sitting in death by meeting and you get these notifications. All right, we got to go. Real quick, Solo Amazon. It's our newest live trading service. My other briefs are about $167 a month or something like that. We're only trading Amazon in here. So guess what? It can be a little less expensive. This is the gateway drug to join TOPGUN Options. It's $970 a year, or I'm going to give you the link to do monthly. I want to try it out for a couple months. I'll give you a couple months trial at $97 a month, but you make money if you do the annual. You make, I think it's a 2 month, I think it's 2 months for free. All right, so here's the link to join. It's 97 bucks a month. If you want to stay in the 97 bucks a month for the rest of your life, stay there. I make more money as a business owner. That's stupid. Upgrade into the annual and it's cheaper. So you can try it out for a couple months at 97 bucks. Shoot us an email. Hey man, I want to upgrade into an annual to save money. Great, we'll upgrade you into an annual for you to save money. There's the link in the chat box. Okay, let me tell you what you get real quick for the 97 bucks a month or the 970 a year. That was our performance last year. 6-figure return just trading Amazon, traded a hair of XLY. Why do I trade XLY in our solo Amazon service? Because it's an ETF with 25% of Amazon in it. So for people who are like, oh my God, I just can't put all my eggs in the Amazon basket, I must diversify. You can trade the ETF that has 25% Amazon. It's got Tesla, Home Depot, Bookings, TJX, Nike. It's got a ton of other stocks in it. So a little bit of XLY. And folks, this $136,000 was probably employing about 25 grand, 25 to 35 at most at any given time, folks. This was, and the limited risk per trade. So if you can make $136,000 on a $25 to $35,000 starting point, that's a freaking fantastic year. And you saw Amazon had a pretty good run. Okay, Parmar made 200 grand in Amazon on 20 contracts. Kevin's in here. He's been a member forever. Amazon synthetic stock. I was late to enter. I'm up 200%. I paid 8 grand. It's now 24 grand. Diane, $70,000 with one contract. Yes, the replay is available. I'll show you the page here in a second. Scott, hey Wiz, up 20 grand in 2 September and October calls this week. I've never been there. Patience, persistence, thanks TGO. Dennis, Wiz, update on my Amazon synthetic for a 6/21 expiration. It's no longer up 100 grand on a contract. It's now up 127. My. I'll tell you the app in a second here. Let me finish. Wiz, I work every Monday at 10 a.m. Guess what? 80% of our members work Monday at 10 a.m. You're going to get immediate alerts like I just showed you. Right there. There's a screenshot of what the app looks like, man. Boom. I absolutely love this. So, and then about, like I said, 20 to 30 minutes after the brief, I post the replay. I don't know how long it takes, folks. If the brief goes long, it's usually 30 minutes to render on my laptop. Otherwise, it's about 20. So a lot of people, watch it during lunch or when the kids go to bed. You don't have to be in the briefs, folks, to get all the trades. It's like you're sitting here. Death by meeting. The boss is droning on. All right, well, Wiz just sent me the trade. I got my E-Trade app on my phone. Done. All right, keep droning on, boss. Chris, I'm so geeked. I think that's a good thing. Been a subscriber for almost 3 years now, and this is the first time I've been able to attend live. I only know you from the replays. Pretty cool. Today, I'm going to hook you up because that's what a brother does. Not only with your Maverick Mind stuff, but with our flight manuals. You need these, folks. They're included. Primary, intermediate, and advanced. I have them printed out on my bookshelf. I go in here sometimes and I need to knock the rust off with some volatility stuff. All right, right there. These are worth their weight in gold. If you went to buy these today, they're 197 bucks. So for all the political science majors from Philadelphia or South Jersey, how about those Eagles? Let me help you with some math. The manuals are 197 bucks. It's 97 bucks a month forever if I stay in it. So I just made 100 bucks. Yeah, you did. So these are included today, folks. You keep these. I did it for a month, Wiz, 97 bucks. I don't like it. Keep the manuals and good luck. So here's what you get today. Access to the live brief every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern. You get the app and the email alerts. You're welcome. I do double work. 3 skill-based manuals I just showed you, and then access to that members-only ready room, the solo Amazon ready room. Folks, this is worth its weight in gold because it's also coaching. Do you know how many times I get an alert from somebody who posts in the solo Amazon thread, hey, Wiz, I got a question on this trade. Hey, what would you do here? Hey, how about those Eagles? Folks, unfortunately, this is joined to my hip. I can be lying on the couch watching the Panthers game, and I get an alert that says, hey, somebody has a question about solo Amazon. I get in here, folks. This is what I do. Okay, so that right there, some essentially one-on-one coaching is worth its weight in gold. Okay, all right. So I'm not going to give you any more of these. If you want to only test fly it for a month, it's 97 bucks a month for the rest of your life. It doesn't pop up to $5,000 next month or something like that. It's 97 bucks. If you're just new to options, this is like the Flex Seal tape guy. But wait, there's more. You have got to do, and you know what? I'm going to tell you, even if you think you know what's the motto of Top Gun? You think you're good, we'll make you better. You think you're a good options trader, I'll make you better. At least I'll help you look at things differently. After you get your solo Amazon, either monthly or annual membership, upgrade, $297 a month, folks. It's a dinner out. Options Weapons School. This is 6 briefs, an hour to an hour and a half each, that people watch over and over and over again. They pick new things up each time they watch one of these, right? I have no idea what an option is. Option is whiz. Well, guess what? I'm not going to teach that first. We're going to get into how I gather my intelligence in the market, the basics of investing, and our trade plan. That's the first session. Then we're going to get into the basics. This is a call, this is a put. Then we're going to go that we take a building block approach. So session 6 is actually synthetic stock. If you hung in this brief, like, I think I kind of understand all that, welcome aboard, man. That's actually kind of down the road. It's a little bit of an advanced tactic. So folks, you don't show up to Pensacola Naval Air Station and they go, there's your F-18. You got to learn about the weather, engines, navigation. You got to learn. They take a building block approach. I borrowed it from the United States Navy, a building block approach. Options Weapons School. If you don't take the training, I'm not going to, folks, the reason we do this training is because you can watch this stuff at night on your own, because in the live trade briefs, I should not have to take 15 minutes to do synthetic stock. You already watched it. You know what it is. In the briefs, we move. This one went super long because welcome aboard. But usually I'm not answering a bunch of questions like this. Like, I already know how to do synthetic stock. All right, here's what he's doing. Everybody understand that? One more minute and I'll get to all these questions, folks. Mark Provo, call sign Utah, Blue Angel, FedEx captain. Didn't even know what an option was. Did a layover in Fort Lauderdale. We went out to lunch. Joined Top Gun Options. Good morning. Less than 20 trading days. I'm up 15 grand on a 40 grand account. I'm like, if you can do it, anyone can do it. That's a 38% return. Most people would see that in a year and retire. Utah is a great dude. All right, finally, I'm done with that. It's one of our newest live trading services. The other briefs are about $167 a month. This one's cheaper because we only trade Amazon. But tomorrow and Wednesday, you're going to check out our other briefs, okay? If you didn't learn anything today, I failed, clearly. But you could simplify your trading cockpit by only trading Amazon. It's the only stock you need to own, okay? So here's the order page. Like I said, it's 97 bucks a month. Just scroll down here, or I strongly recommend you do the annual. Why wouldn't you? It's cheaper. But I get it. You sound pretty good, but I want to make sure you're not a complete idiot. There's a distinct possibility I am. So try it out, 97 bucks a month. All right, let me scroll back up to answer some of these questions. Vic, you can't see people's comments because when we have more than 200 people in a room, there was like 600 people registered. We have to be in GoToWebinar. So Vic brings up a great point. When we're in our regular member briefs, it's just under 200 people in each service. So we're in GoToTraining. So we can all chat back and forth and you can see each other's comments. So we're in a different brief because we have more people. This is where the replay will be posted, right here. Go to topgunoptions.com/special-event-replay. I'll put this link in the chat box. This is where all the replays are going to be posted, okay? Right there, right? So there is the replay link. Quick reminder, solo Amazon isn't on here. This is just the full throttle stuff, which is Tuesday and Wednesday. So I'm breaking the mold here. If you want to do the solo Amazon, this is the gateway drug for most people to join Top Gun Options, okay? David, should we wait if we are thinking about the other services you're presenting later this week? David, so solo Amazon is not part of what we're going to do the rest of the week. So most people join solo Amazon and they also join full throttle, which we'll talk about tomorrow and Wednesday. So great question. The answer is, if you like solo Amazon, join it. It's not, it's a completely different service than the next 2 days. Two standalone things. So David, I'd say anecdotally, 90% of TGO members are in both. There are 10% that are just in solo Amazon or just in the full throttle. Good question, but join both. Because Amazon, we have printing money with it. A lot of people asking what the app is. It's kind of pointless to tell you. It's called Go Collab, GOKOLLAB. If you download it and you're not a member, you don't get access to it, right? You need a username and password from us to log in. But the app is called Go Collab. Yep. Any question with that? Okay. And then, yeah, like I said, if you have any questions in between the briefs or anything like that, you go in the ready room here, right here, solo Amazon. Where's our member here? Right here. Let me just show you one more time. Groups, the ready room, you have your own thread here. It's called Amazon Trade Alerts right there. Isn't this awesome? Right there. Post all the stuff in here. It's good stuff. This is worth its weight in gold, folks. I absolutely love the solo Amazon service. It's worth its weight in gold. Okay, this will be a key technical indicator, folks, right there. The 20-day moving average. That should be a buy point. So I just showed you, I'm in it, 225 synthetic stock. I did it last week. So I'm a little bit underwater. I don't care. Like I said, sometime today after I get done being busy, I'm putting on some trades for Amazon for the week. So long-term bullish trade out into the future, short-term bearish, bullish. I don't know, join and you'll get access to the trade. Another trade I'm going to place on Amazon today. Remember, selling those short calls each week brings in a little bit of coin every week to pay down that trade. In a couple months, that trade's paid off. It's free. And everything after that is profit. That's why taking screenshots from current members are like, dude, I made 70 grand on a single contract. Now remember, this isn't like day trading, right? This is slow and steady wins the race. This is a couple year trade out into the future. But in the background, it's printing money, folks. Assuming Amazon goes up and to the right for the next 2 years. There's no reason why it shouldn't. And one more time, and then I got to go. Even though I led this brief with Ma, right? When in doubt, run to Ma, and I'm bearish for the year. Amazon will outperform other things that are getting hammered. People will flee NVIDIA and the other high flyers for solid companies that are printing money. I've been doing this for decades. I've been trading Amazon for decades. That's what happens. Things get hammered, super hammered. Other things get slightly hammered. Which one do you want to be? I guarantee you that's going to happen. Yeah, it's on the homepage. Is the order page? Just trade groups, solo Amazon, and it's right here. You're welcome. Yeah, man. That's funny you say that because when I used to go to industry events years ago before COVID ended it, people used to give me shit. Because there are a lot of other services out there that actually charge for a week of, well, it wouldn't be a week of free trading. I do a week of free trading. You guys were in a normal solo Amazon brief. It went way longer than usual. Our solo Amazon briefs are a half an hour to an hour usually. But no, I don't charge. This is the trial. People are like, do you have a trial? I'm like, yeah, you're in it. I don't. This is the free week. You get to see what we're doing. Then I close the doors to the squadron and we keep doing our flight operations. If you don't join, then maybe we'll see you next time. But yeah, it's $97 a month. If you don't have $97 a month, you probably shouldn't be trading. Okay. Any other questions? Because I got to go. My ass is killing me. I need some coffee and I need to stretch my legs. Thanks, Wiz. Vic, we already did that. I appreciate that. Wiz, did we end up with a February straddle trade recommendation? No, John, I looked at the earnings straddle to just get an idea of what Amazon's going to do. John, Wiz, you're John. I am going to do a front month trade on Amazon, but I'm done. This was a long brief and, David, yes, can changing from monthly to annual take place at any time? David, you shoot support an email, support@topgunoptions.com. Hey man, I've been a monthly Amazon member. I want to upgrade to the annual. Yep, here's the link. You got it. Yeah, Rick, it's a coin flip. So Rick said, hey, you might want to wait until after the inflation report this week. I'm always hesitant with that because what if it comes in light? What if on the way out the door, the economists at the Bureau of Labor Statistics want to give Joe a little bit of a kiss? Oh, look, as his final inflation report, and inflation was coming in. See, the jobs were strong, and so I don't know what it's going to be. It could come in. What was it forecast? 2.9. What if it comes in at 2.8? Still hot, but less than expected. The market could rally. So these CPI prints to me, Rick, are coin flips. I don't know. So that's why I don't care. If you're long-term bullish on Amazon 2.5 years in the future, this CPI print in 2 days isn't going to amount to a hill of beans. But I appreciate the mutual support. Okay. Awesome. I went way too long, man. An hour 45. Shoot me. This sucks. I don't do this. Tomorrow, I already got most of the stuff out of the way. We're going to jump right into it, folks. SOT, Strategic Operational Tactical. We're going to talk about dogfighting the S&P 500. And then Friday, we're going to talk about Wednesday, we're going to talk about Make America Healthy Again. Okay, I got to go. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you're hedged. We are. Fights on. Namaste and basi basi. Whiz out. Cheers.